Hello everyone, welcome back to IGCSE Made Easy. So today we are going to do paper code 0580 21 May June 2022 paper 2 extended. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1. Write down a prime number between 30 and 40. So there are two prime numbers that comes in between 30 and 40. One is 31 and other is 37. But we are just asked with a prime number, that is 1, so we can write either any of the answer, 31 or 37. Question number 2. 4 raised to power 5 minus of 5 raised to power 4. We can use a calculator to solve this. So in calculator we can type 4 raised to power 5, 4 raised to power 5 minus of 5 raised to power 4, and that gives you 399. So that's our final answer. Question number 3. Jason starts a run at 10:05 a.m. and finishes at 1:02 p.m. Work out the time Jason takes to complete the run. Actually, a.m. is from 10:05 a.m. We have to calculate the time till 12 p.m. right? And then from that time we have to calculate to 1:02 p.m. because we are splitting it, because AM we have to calculate it differently using the calculator, and PM again we can calculate differently. Let me tell you how to do that. We can subtract this 12 p.m. from this 10 and we'll get the answer in between. You can use your calculator. You can see my calculator in the right bottom of the screen. You can write 12 and there is one dot and comma, 3 commas are there. Press that one. It will be 12 hour and 0 minute, again the same button, and 0 second. You have to subtract this with 10 hour, same that comma button, and then 10 hour and 05, right? So 05 minute and 0 seconds. So this gives you the answer 1 hour and 55 minutes and 0 second. So we can write this as 1 hour 55 minute and 0 seconds. In between this the time between this two is 1 hour 55 minute and 0 seconds, and in between the time we can easily calculate, that is 1 hour and 02 minute and 0 second, right? Because that after 12 we can easily calculate. So let's add this 1 hour 55 minutes and 0 second with the time that we have to, that after 12 p.m, right? That is 1 hour and 02 minute and 0 second. So we get 2 hour and 57 minute and 0 second. So this is the total time. If we add it, this will be the total time, that is 2 hour and 57 minute. So this is how we have to use our calculator to perform. So let's do the next part. Question number 4. Calculate 1 minus 0.7 divided by 0.45 minus 0.38. Give your answer to correct to 4 significant figure. So actually we can use directly our calculator to do that. So first let me write 1 minus of 0.7 by 0.45 minus of 0.38. So if I calculate this, I'm getting the answer in decimal 4.28571, right? 4.28571. The bar shows it's being repeating, but we have to focus on 4 significant figure. 4 significant figure means you should have only 4 figures there, right? This is the 1, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Rest all number we have to keep it aside. We don't have to write it as an answer. Just we have to keep it 4 significant figure. It means a 4, 2, 8, 5 should be there. But this 5 is being affected by this 7, right? The next number, that is more than 5. This 7 is more than 5. If it is more than 5, we will add 1 to this one, right? So what happened now? Instead of, we have to write 4 significant figure, but this 5 is being affected by this 7. If it is less than, if it is not 7 there, if it is less than 5, then the number should be same. But because it is more than 5, it is 7. So we have to add 1 to this, and this 5 becomes 6. So your final answer will be 4.286. So that will be a final answer. Question number 5. Christy changes $380.80 into pound when $1 equals to $1.19. So see, she is converting the dollar into pound, right? So the dollar, which currency is much bigger? Actually, we can say the heavier, which currency is heavier? Here the pound is much heavier because 1 pound is equals to $1.19. It means that pound is much bigger than the dollar here. So if we are converting into the uh, smaller currency, if you are converting into smaller currency to the bigger currency, the currency that is heavier, so we have to divide it. Okay, so it's like that. You can remember the staircase level. If we are going up, energy get divides, right? So if we are coming down from the stairs, we can multiply. Means this is the big one, this is the small one, this is the big one, this is the small one, right? So if we go up small to big, if we go, then we have to divide. If we come down bigger to smaller, we have to multiply. This is same applicable with, if when we go up the upstairs you get tired, and when we come from the stairs your speed is increased and your energy is multiplied there. So you are now coming, if you are changing smaller currency to the bigger currency, right? Because dollar is smaller, so you're converting 380.80 to the pound. That is, pound is actually now stronger currency, so we have to divide it, right? Smaller currency to bigger currency, we have to divide it with 1.19. so what is my division? Actually, let's check the calculator. So 380.80 divided by 1.19, that gives you 320. So now 320 pound she will receive. And this case can go exactly opposite. This case can go exactly opposite. It means that we can multiply also when we have to convert from bigger unit to the smaller unit. So let's do question number 6. So write 180 as a product of prime factor. So prime factorization, we can do it with this method. So 180 is here. I have to divide every time with the prime number over this side. Okay, keep it in mind. So 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 can again divide it with 2, so 45 times 2 is 90, and now this 45 comes in 5 tables, so 9 times 5 is 45, and then 3 times 3 is 9, and then 3 times 1. I don't have to write it because 1 is neither a prime number so nor a composite number, so we get 2 3 3. So we can write 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So this is your final answer. Question number 7. Without using a calculator, work out this one. Okay, anyway, they will say that without using calculator, but for any step or just verification of answer itself, you can use calculator. That's not an issue. They will not able to know that whether you have used the calculator or just to verify your answer you can use it. So we can use a cross multiplication method. It's very simple. Multiplying this with this one, multiplying this with this one, right, and multiplying this one, you will get the answer easily. This is a step. Actually, we can't directly write the answer there. That's what they don't want. So if I use the calculator to multiply 21 times 7, that does not matter. 21 times 7 is 147, and 21 times 3 is 63. See, I have shown the steps to multiply, cross multiply. 7 times 2 is 14, right? And 63 minus 14 you can calculate. 63 minus 14 is 49. So you get 49 by 147. But see, you need to write the answer in the lowest form, so you can use the calculator also. Like 49 you can write over the top, and below you can write 147, and if you press equal to, then you get the lowest form using the calculator even, right? So that's not a problem. So if you cancel this one like that, they will understand that you did the calculation without the calculator. That's not a problem, right? So let's do the next part. And again, you have a lot of methods you can use it, making the by LCM 7 times 3 is 21. You can do that also, but anyway, you have a lot of logic to do, so why to waste time and all. So let's do question number 8. S is a 1 by 2 AT square. Work out the value of S when A is 0.9 and T is 4. So we just have to put the value of A as 0.9 and the value of T as 4 square. So let's use our calculator. In this case, we'll get half. We can write it as 0.5 times 0.9 times 4 square. That gives you 35 by 36 by 5, 7.2. So S value is 7.2. Part B, rearrange the formula to find T in term of S and A. So the term, we have to find the value of T in term of S and A. So S is equals to half AT square. So we have to find the value of T. So we have to keep the T square over one side, and this 2 goes there, 2 into S, and this A comes down, right? This A will come down. It's like a cross multiply that's happening. So the value of T will be equals to, because we are removing the square, then there will be under root of 2S by A. You just have to keep it in mind whenever we have like uh, x square equals to let's say 7. Whenever I'm making this 2, whenever I'm just cutting this square out and putting root, there will be plus as well as minus sign. It is only the case of root, right? Square root, because we'll be having two values, two solutions, so we will place plus as well as minus. So our answer will be plus of 2s by a, and again we will be having a negative of 2s by a. That's why we wrote plus and minus. Question number 9, factorize completely. So here we know that 14 and 7, they both comes in 7 table, and here we have y and here also we have y. So let's take out 7 as common, and 7 times 2 is 14, as we know that. And see, here also we have one y, right? Because actually two y's are there, so we can take out one y from here and one y from here. So I took out y also. Minus of 7 times 1 is 7, and y I have to write it. So we can't split further, so this will be our final answer, 7y into 2x minus of y. Question number 10. Sequence is given and we have to find out the next term of the sequence. So you just have to read the sequence actually. Here we can see that 27 and after 22nd, 22 minus of 5 gives you 17, and 17 minus of 5 gives you 12, and 12 minus of 5 gives you 7, and 7 minus of 5 is 2. So 2 minus of 5 should give you what, right? That's what we have to do. 2 minus of 5 gives you minus 3. So the next term should be equals to minus 3. And to find out the nth term, it's very simple. What you have to do, you just have to write the difference. What is the difference? Minus 5, and you have to write n with it. Okay, whatever the difference is, minus 5, just you have to write n with it, and you have to find out the previous term of this one. What should be the previous term? Actually, this previous term of the first term, right? The previous term should be 22 plus 5, because that's what we are following, right? 22 plus 5 is 27. So here it should be 27. Then only if I subtract minus 5, I'm getting 22, right? So previous term is 27. So your answer is 27. You have to write it over here. 27 minus of 5. What we did, just the previous term of the number, I wrote it here, and I just wrote n with the common difference, the difference value. So this is your answer. Question number 11. Triangle ABC is mathematically similar to triangle PQR. Calculate QR length. So this is QR, right? So they both are mathematical similar. So this two length will be similar to each other, and this two length will be similar to each other, right? So we can use common ratio method. So we can write 8 by 6 equals to 6 by, let's say this is x. Okay, we are just relating it with that. So let's cross multiply and find the value of x. So this goes there, multiplied with 8. So 8 into x equals to 6 times 6 is 36. So x will be equals to 36 by 8. If I use my calculator, 36 divided by 8, I'm getting 4.5. So QR will be equals to 4.5. Part B. Two triangles are the cross section of the two mathematical similar prism. The volume of the larger prism is 320 centimeter cube. So here we know that the cross section, these are the cross section actually. So we can do one thing. The ratio is given, right? We can compare it with the ratio. The ratio is 8:6, right? This is 8 and this is 6. So, and now the larger prism will be made from this 8 ratio, correct? That is, and the volume of the larger prism is what? 320. So I wrote in front of that. And then what is the volume of the smaller prism we have to find? Let's say that is x. Okay, now because the volume is related with cube, so we'll be cubing this one. This side we have to cube it. Don't cube this side because it's already cubed one, right? So we don't have to cube that one. The opposite side we have to cube it. If you are talking about square, we have to square that one. Now we are talking about volume, so we cubed it. So we know the rule that we can write this as 8 cube by 6 cube equals to 320 by x. So if I cross multiply it, okay, if I cross multiply like this, right, this so it becomes 8 cube into x equals to 320 times 6 cube, right? So x will be equals to 320 times 6 cube by 8 cube. So now we can use our calculator to find out the value, right? So 320 times 6 cube divided by 8 cube, that gives me the answer 135. So the value of the smaller prism cube is the volume of smaller prism cube is 135 centimeters cube. Question number 12. The interior angle of a pentagon are in the ratio and find the largest angle. The largest angle will be the largest ratio, that is 9. So this 9 is out of the total ratio. How much we can calculate the total ratio? The total ratio is 9 plus 7 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4, that is 30. So total ratio is 30. So 9 ratio out of 30 times of the total interior angle of a pentagon is what? See, we know that pentagon has 5 sides, right? So to calculate the total interior angle, we have a formula, that is n minus of number of sides, that is n minus of 2 times of 180. So number of side is 5. So 5 minus of 2 times of 180 we have to do. 5 minus of 2 is 3, and 3 times 180 is how much? So 3 times 180 is equals to 540. So the total interior angle of pentagon is 540. So 9 divided by 30 times 540. So let's use our calculator to calculate it. 9 times 540 divided by 30, that gives you 162. So 162 is the largest angle. Question number 13. Work out 2 into 10 raised to the power 100 minus 2 into 10 raised to the power 98. Okay, if you calculate these questions in your calculator, it will give you maths error or syntax error. So we have to do something actually. Here 2 is there, here also 2 is there, and here 10 raised to the power 100 is there, and here 10 raised to the power 98 is there, right? So we know that 98 power is common here and 2 is also common. So let's take out 2 into 10 raised to power 98 common out. Okay. So here we'll be left with 10 raised to power 2, because out of 100 we took 98, so 2 is left out inside, minus of 2 into 10 raised to power 98, altogether we took it out, so 1 is left, right? So 10 raised to power 98, 10 raised to power 2 is 100, even I can, 10 raised to power 2 is 100, so 100 minus of 1 is 99. So actually we can write it as 99 times 2 into 10 raised to power 98. So 99 times 2 is what? 99 times 2 is 198. I'm multiplying this with this. So 99 times 2 is 198 times 10 raised to power 98. But we have to write the answer in the standard form. Standard form, we can only write, we can write the standard format as one number should be there, after that decimal value should be there. It means that we have to write 1 point something like that. So 1.98. It is only possible. Here is the decimal right now. We are shifting this decimal here and it should come here. At 2 digit we are shifting towards the left. If we are shifting 2 digits towards the left, we will add 2 to the power. Okay, so if we are shifting left side, so we are adding 10 to power 98 plus 2 is 100. I hope you understand this. So the same case, if you are going right side shifting, if you are shifting outside, we have to subtract the powers. If you are shifting left side, we have to add the powers. So you can check some of the videos of the standard form, you will understand it better. Question number 14. A train passes through a station at a speed of 108 km per hour. The length of the train is 120 meter and the time taken to completely passes through the station is 7 seconds. Okay, let's say this is a train, okay, and this is the train head, okay, that is engine, and this is the tail of the train, okay. So the speed of the train is given as 108 kilometer per hour, and the train can passes through a station, and the length of the, let's say this is station, okay, and the length of the station is 120 meter, and it is said that the train will go like this, and it will be completely passing through. It means that pass through means what? The tail of the train will be here and the head of the train is here, right? It means that completely pass out, right? The station, it's been gone, station is gone out. So we have to find out the length of the train. This is the length of the train, right? This is what we have to find out. So in 7 seconds it is passing from here. If it starts in 7 seconds, it is passing means from here to here, correct? That's what it meant. So in 7 seconds it is passing the platform. From here to here it is passing the platform. The head of the train is here and the tail should be here. That's what it passed out, right? In 7 seconds it is doing the work like that. So that's what it is, 7 seconds. Okay, now you should know that here the distance of the platform is in meter and the time is given in second, right? So but in the unit of speed is only given in kilometer per hour. So let's change the unit of the speed. As it is given in kilometer per hour, that is 108 kilometer per hour, we have to convert into meter and seconds, right? So let's convert the kilometer first. 1 kilometer, this means 1 kilometer, right? 1 kilometer, how many meters are there? In 1 kilometer we have 1000 meter, right? You all know this. So instead of writing 1 kilometer, I'll write 1000 meter, right? And in 1 hour, how many seconds are there? In 1 hour we have 60 minutes and we have 60 seconds in 1 minute, so we multiply it with 60 times 60. So if we solve this in our calculator, that is 108 times 1000 divided by 60 times 60, that gives you 30. So it means that actually this is 30 meter per second. This is second, so it will come this. Instead of writing 108 kilometer per hour, we can also write it as 30 meter per second. That is the speed of the train, right? So the train starts from here, and in 7 seconds it reaches here, right? The head of the train reaches here in 7 seconds, and the speed is 30 meter per second. It converted into meter per second. So what will be the distance actually traveled by train from here to here, right? Actual distance is what? So you know that distance equals to speed into time. It comes from this: speed is equals to distance traveled by time taken. So distance equals to cross multiply speed into time. So distance is speed is what? 30 meter per second, and time is what? 7 second. So 7 times 3 is 21 and 0. So distance is 210 meter, right? So from here to here, the distance is 210 meter, time is 7 second, and the speed is 30 meter per second. But we have to find it till here only, right? Because this is what the train distance is, as I told you in the first beginning. From here to here, we don't have to calculate. That is a platform distance. So if we want to find out this distance only, we have to subtract this. We have to subtract 120 with that, right? Because the total distance is 240, 210, and this distance is 120. So if I subtract 210 with 120, I'll get the distance of the train, that is 210 minus of 120, 210 minus of 120. So I am getting 90. So the distance of the train is 90 meters. I hope you understand this question. Question number 15. So we have to find the value of x in this question. So let's make the base as same. Here we have 4 raised to power x equals to, instead of writing 64, we can write it as 4 raised to power 3, right? 64 can be written as 4 raised to power 3, and let's bring this 4 raised to power 3 at the top. So 4 raised to power x equals to, if this is the case, if I bring this x over the top, it will be x raised to minus 1. If this is the case, if I bring this x over the top, the case will be x raised to power minus 2. Okay, the reverse, if I reverse the position, right, denominator to numerator, the power will be having the opposite sign. Now here it is having plus 3, right? So when it goes up, it will be having negative 3. Okay. Also, there is a rule of indices which says that if the bases are same in both the side, LHS and RHS, powers are also equal to each other. Okay, so value of x equals to minus 3. I hope you understand this question. Question number 16. So here we have to describe fully the single transformation that maps T onto P. So it's very clear that enlargement is taking place, right? So enlargement you have to write first, because it's a 3 marks question, 3 typical answers you have to write. Enlargement first, right? And the second thing is you have to write the scale factor, and you should know the scale factor formula. SF is what? Image length, image by image by the object length. Okay, so image is shaded, object is shaded and image is not shaded, as well as they are given T onto P, right? T onto P, right? So image is what? This one, right? So how much is the length of the image? Let's say this is 2. And what is the object length? Object length is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the scale factor should be equals to 1 by 2, correct? Because 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. But there is one thing that you have to keep it in mind. That is, if the object is like this and the image is opposite direction to that, like that, see, it's opposite going, this point is going opposite to that, it means that the scale factor will be negative of that. For example, if an object is like this and image is enlarged, okay, if it is getting smaller, but in this case the object and the image are in the same direction, right? Same direction. If it is in the opposite direction, this part is turned this side, then it will have a negative of scale factor. Okay, keep it in mind. So scale factor is what? SF is minus of 1 by 2, okay, as it is turned over the right hand side. So one more thing that we have to find out, that is center of enlargement. Center of enlargement, we have to do one thing. For finding the center of enlargement, let's join all the points, not all the points, at least join 2 points to get the center of enlargement. That will give you the correct one. So this part, this part is actually, right, this part, this part is actually this one, right, and this part is this one. So let's join that first. So if I join this one with this one, I'm not able to see, so I'm going to erase it just to show you. I just found that. So let's join this two. If you're more accurate, it will be better for you. So this is one of the line, and we have to join this and this. I guess if you don't have time, just try to draw two lines, because anyway every line will be going to match on the same point. Okay, this is one of the point. So if you have enough time to solve, then join the third point also. Usually in triangle the third point is little difficult to draw. If it is not possible also, no problem, you just have to write the center of enlargement, that's all. So see, I'm also getting the same center of enlargement. It might not be that accurate, but I'm tried my best. So this will be the center of enlargement, that is 4 comma 4, right? So center of enlargement, I'll write it as 4 comma 4. So let's move on. Question number 17. Find the radius of hemisphere of volume 80 centimeter cube. So we have to find the radius of hemisphere. Hemisphere is half of the circle, half of the sphere actually. The volume of the sphere is 4 by 3. So volume of hemisphere will be 2 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, that's one. So volume is 2 by 3 pi r cube, and the volume is given as 80, right? 80 centimeter cube. So we just have to find the value of r. So r we can substitute. So 80 into 3 divided by 2 into pi. This goes there, and other things comes down like that. Cross multiply, right? So you know this, right? So let's find out the value of r by, if I take out this cube here, if I take out this cube, it should be like cube root of that, right? So cube root of 80 times 3 divided by, we can use our calculator now. So let's use our calculator to solve this question. So I'll write like cube root of, so here we have shift and the cube root of, I'll put EB by C there, and 80 times 3 divided by 2 times pi, then this gives me the answer 3.367, something like that. So we can round it off and we can write this as 3.37. 3.36 it's given, so 3.37, note it up to 3 significant figure. So that would be our final value of r. Okay, let's move on. Question number 18. A, B, C, D are point on the circle. If 4 points are on the circle, it is a cyclic quadrilateral. The rules are, if cyclic quadrilaterals are opposite side, opposite angle, sum will be 180. This is what the condition is, right? By reading the question itself, you should know. A, B, C, D are point on the circle. TU is a tangent, and to the circle point D. DA is parallel to CB. Okay, let's find out the value of X and Y. So if it is cyclic, as I told you, if it is cyclic, opposite angle sum is 180. So if this is 60, then this should be 120, right? Sum should be 180. So 120 plus 60 is 180. So that's also, yeah. Then there is one more rule actually, alternate segment theorem. So this angle should be equals to this angle, right? Alternate segment theorem says that if this is a tangent, and if we have any triangle something like this, or like this, so this angle, if we have this angle, then this angle should be equal to this angle, right? So this is what the alternate, or else we can say that, or else we can write it as this angle should be equals to this angle. So this is what alternate segment theorem. So 38 will be equals to this, 38 angle will be equals to this x. So the value of x is very much clear, that is 38 by, it comes by alternate segment theorem, and you can list it by stating that. And also these two are parallel, right? These two lines are parallel. If these two lines are parallel, then this angle should be equals to 38. Simple. So we can find out the value of y just by subtracting it with 180 by adding 120 plus 38 and subtracting it with 180, you'll get 22. So that is very simple question. Okay, so y is 22. You can write little bit of statement as I stated here, like that. So let's move on to question number 19. Question number 19. In diagram, AB is parallel to PQ and AQ and PB intersect at point X and AX is equals to XQ. Okay, then we have to complete the statement. It's given that triangle ABX, this triangle ABX, and in triangle QPX, this is the two triangle they are comparing, and we have to uh, fill the blanks here. It's given that one of the information is given, AX is equals to uh, XQ. Okay, one of the information is given. So angle BAX is equals to angle what? So try to understand this. Angle BAX, right? This angle will be equals to angle PQX, right? The reason of this two angle will be equal because this line and this line are parallel to each other. I'll use the another pen. This line and this line are parallel to each other, right? When two lines are parallel, they are represented in arrow mark, right? And here is a line that crosses, that is AXQ. So this angle will be equals to this angle, alternate angle, right? So angle BAX, that is this angle, that is equals to angle PQX. The reason is alternate interior angle. Okay, then the second part is they have given one of the statement that AXB, this angle is equals to which angle? Definitely if two lines crosses like this angle should be equals to this angle. So this angle, right? AXB will be equals to PXQ. And the reason behind it is vertical opposite angle, VOA. Vertical opposite angle, you can also write full form of that. So yes, that's done. Then they are asking that triangle ABX is congruent to triangle QPX because the congruency condition. Yeah, they both are congruent because now try to understand it. Let me see. It's given that this angle is equals to this angle, right? Sorry, this angle is equals to this angle. This angle is equals to this angle. Also, it is given that this side is equals to this side. So this is angle, this is side, and this is angle, right? So angle, side, angle. By which condition it is being congruent? The condition is angle, side, angle. It's like angle, side, angle again, right? So that's a condition. And also they are asking Px will be equals to what? Px is here. So this is a really important question. So Px is here. Px is equals to what? Bx, right? Or xb. Px will be equals to xb because they both are congruent. If two of the triangles are congruent, it is for sure it is that other sides and angles will also be equal to each other. So Px will be equals to xb. That's all. This is what you have to fill. So let's move on to next question. Question number 20. The diagram shows a speed time graph for 24 seconds of a car journey. Calculate the deceleration of car in final 8 seconds. So final 8 second is somewhere here, right? This is the final 8 second. So deceleration is happening from here to here. Deceleration is there. So you know that the acceleration formula is actually change in velocity by change in time. So deceleration will be using the same thing. So we can write it as change in velocity, right? Change in velocity is what, or change in speed, that's what it meant. So change in speed is, let me erase this one. So change in speed is, what is the change in speed? So before it was 12 and now it comes to 0, right? Now it comes to 0 because it's coming down and it lands to 0, right? So before it was 12, now it is 0. So change in the velocity or speed, that is 12 minus of 0. Change in, we usually write acceleration as delta change in speed. Velocity we write, but I'm using uh, change in delta. I'm writing delta as change. Okay, so dv by dt, that's what it. So change in speed is 12, before it was 12 and now it is 0, and the change in time is 16, 24 minus of 16, right? 24 minus of 16. So deceleration is equals to 12 by 8. 24 minus 16 is 8. So if we use our calculator to divide 12 divided by 8, that gives you 3 by 2 or 1.5. So deceleration is 1.5 meter per second square. Let's move. Part B, the total distance traveled during 24 seconds. Actually, to find out the total distance, we have to find out the area under the graph. So it's actually, they have given 24 seconds, right? 24 is from the beginning to the end is 24 seconds. So we have to cover all the areas, that is this area, sorry, this area, the whole this area, and the whole this area. So that's what the total distance is, area under the graph. So for finding this area, it's very simple. This is 16 distance, right? 0 to 16, it's 16, and this is 12. So this is a rectangle. So to find out the area of the rectangle, we'll multiply the length, that is 16, and we'll multiply the width, that is 12. So 16 times 12 gives you 192. Okay, and to find out the area of this triangle, we can use the formula, that is half into the base is how much, the base is 24 minus of 16 is 8, and the height is 12. Half into base into height is 12. If I do that in my calculator, so I'll get half as 0.5 into 8 into 12 and gives me 48. So this area is 48 and this area is 192. If we add 192 with 48, I'm going to get 240, and 240 is the total 240 is the total distance traveled during the 24 seconds. Question number 21, factorize it completely. So in this if you remember middle term split factorization, this is going to be very easy. So I'm going to write this 1 minus of q. So if I take out from this to a as common, so I'll get a as common. So 1 minus of q, again I'll get it, right? Why I'm getting 1 minus of q? Because if I multiply a minus a into a, that gives you minus a, and minus a into minus of q gives you plus aq, because minus and minus gives you plus, minus into minus gives you plus. So remember that. So I just took out common a from this two term, then this is what I got it. So what I'll do, this is one of the term, right? So I can take one common out from that. So finally I got 1 minus of a and 1 minus of q. If you remember the middle term split, that's why in the beginning itself I told you the same way it will be, like the common pairing and other things. So this will be our final answer. Question number 22, simplify fully. Here we can use, this, let's say if I'm having x into y raised to power 2, then what happen if I simplify it, x square will be there and y square will be there, both will be like affected by the square. So let's use this method too. solve this question. So here 216 is there, and we have another term, that is y raised to power 216. So that is being affected by this power. So 216 raised to power 2 by 3, as I told in the beginning, and y raised to power 216 raised to power 2 by 3. I hope you understand why I did separately now. So if I solve 216 raised to power 2 by 3 in my calculator, let's see what comes here. 216 raised to power 2 by 3, 2 by, sorry, 2 by 3, then I'll get the answer as 36. So this I got it as 36. Let's find out this also. But here that the possible case is why we cannot solve, we can just multiply this 2. Let's say x square is there and the outside is 2 by 3. So we can multiply this 2. That's the rule actually, right? X raised to power m into n is x raised to power m into, and this is the indices rule. So we can multiply 216 with 2 by 3, right? So 216 times 2 by 3, that gives you 144. So we have 36 y raised to power 144. So your final answer will be 36 y raised to power 144. Question 23. In this, it looks like a completing square, and we have to find the value of p and q. See, the method I'll teach you how to do. So in this quadratic equation, you can see that the middle term is 8x, right? So in completing square, it can be easily understand that why it is completing square. So it will be like square plus of some constant, right? So that's a pattern that you have to understand. It will be in the form of completing square. So they are saying that this quadratic equation, you have to make it equal this one, and you have to find the value of p and q. So what we have to do, the first step that we have to do it in the completing square is we have to divide the middle term with 2. So the middle term of the quadratic sequence is 8. So if I divide 8 with 2, I am getting 4, right? So we have to write x, this is plus, right? This sign is plus, and here the middle term of that is 4. So x plus of 4. I hope you understand what I am trying to do. 4 comes from the middle, half of the middle term, x plus of 4, and we will be squaring this one. Okay, try to understand. The first step that we did is dividing the middle term with 2, and then square with the x term. With positive sign comes from this one, plus of 8. So x plus 4 whole square, if I do this one, if you remember the formula of a plus b whole square, it gives you a square plus 2 times a into b plus b square. Okay, you should know this. A plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So if I solve this one, it gives you x square plus 8x, 4 times 2 is 8, x plus of 4 square is 16. So x plus 4 whole square is equals to x square plus 8x plus 16. Okay, so now you have to think about this question now. In this, x square plus 8x is available, x square plus 8x is available, right? Only the 10 value is not there. Instead of 10, it is 16. So what should I subtract with the 16 to get 10? That's what the question comes. So you have to subtract from this side minus of 6, correct? You have to subtract minus 6 to get 10. I need 10. So I cannot only subtract minus 6 from the right hand side. I have to subtract minus 6 from the left hand side also, so that the equation may be balanced. So now what will happen, if I subtract minus 6 from both the side, I am getting x plus 4 whole square minus 6 equals to x square plus 8x plus of 10, because if I subtract 16 minus of 6 is 10. So see, now the result is x square minus of 8x plus of 10. That is this equation, x square minus x square plus of 8x plus of 10, and that is equals to this formation, right? X plus of 4 whole square minus of 6. So this formation. So it means that x is there, then this is acting as a p, and this is acting as a q. So the p value is 4 and q value is minus of 6. So I hope you understand this question. Part B, x square plus 8x plus 10 is equals to 30. So just now we did this equation, that is x square plus 8x plus 10 is equals to this one, right? And that is equals to this format. So we can write, instead of this, x plus of 4 square minus of 6 equals to 30, right? I hope you understand why I wrote it, because that is equals to this equation. Okay, so if I solve it, simplify a little bit more, so it should be like 6 should go with the number. So if it goes like that, so it will be 30 plus 6 gives you 36, right? Then if I want to remove this square, then I have to put a root on that side. So if I put the root, it will be plus and minus of 36, correct? If root is there, there will be two values, okay? And then because we have a two solution in a quadratic equation, that's all. So we will get x plus of 4 equals to plus of 6, under root of 6, 36 is plus 6, and x plus of 4 equals to minus of 6, because both the sign we have to take. So for the both the value will be getting plus 6 minus of 4, and the other value is minus 6 plus minus of 4. So the first value of x will be 2, and the other value of x will be minus of 10. Minus 6 minus 4 is minus 10. So I hope you understand this question. Question number 24. A cuboid measured 24 centimeter by 12 centimeter by 8 centimeter. Find the calculate the length of the diagonal of the cuboid. So if I draw a cuboid like this, okay, and the length of the cuboid is given as 24 centimeter, and the width is 12 centimeter, and the height is 8 centimeter. So we have to find out the diagonal. Let me use another color to draw that. This is the diagonal, okay? So if I want to find the diagonal, we can focus on this length first. This length I'll be focusing on to find out. Then we can find out the diagonal. Let's find out the blue line length. That is, let's say this is AB, okay? Let's say this is AB. So let's find out AB first. So AB will be equals to Pythagoras theorem, under root of 24 square plus of 12 square, okay? So if I do this one using my calculator, 24 square root of 24 square plus of 12 square, I'll get the answer as 12 root 5. Okay, I'll write 12 root 5. That is 12 root 5. That is AB. Okay. Then now let's focus on this one. This triangle. That's too dark, right? Let me use this one. This triangle now we are focusing. Where the we can use Pythagoras to find out. Let's say this is AC, okay? So AC is the length, that's the diagonal that we have to find out. Let's use the Pythagoras. So again the same method. AC will be equals to under root of 12 root 5 square plus 8 square, right? So again using the calculator, we can use calculator. Under root of 12 root 5, then I'll write square of that plus 8 square. That gives me 28 as the answer. So the value of AC will be equals to 28. That's the diagonal length. So let's move on. Question number 25. W is proportional to square root of y, and y is inversely proportional to x. We have to find the value of W in term of x. So W is proportional to root of y, okay, square root of y. And also it is given that y is inversely proportional to x. Inverse, that's why I written x over down. So now try to understand W in term W, we have to find the value of W in term of x, correct? We have to find the value of W in term of x. So W is proportional to y, root y, and y is proportional to root of x. From here only we can get the value of x, right? So if I under root this one, I have to root this one also, left hand side and right hand side. So now root of y is proportional to root 1 by root x, right? This is how we can write it. So root of y will be proportional to 1. Root 1 is 1 itself, and root of x will be root x, right? So now root of y is proportional to 1 by root x. So I can replace this root y now. So w is directly proportional to, instead of root y, I can write 1 by root x, correct? Now if I remove this proportionality symbol, I should place a constant there. So w will be equals to k into 1 by root x. If I remove the proportionality symbol, I have to place a constant k over there. Okay, k into 1 by root x. Now we have to find the, and let's insert some of the value that is given here. So after this I'm solving it over here. So w is equals to k into 1 by root x, where the value of x is 4 and w is 8. Value of x is 4 root of 4. So we can find the value of k here. So the value of k will be, root of 4 is 2, so 8 times 2 is equals to 16. So value of k will be 16. So finally we can write it as w in this equation, or we can write it here itself, that's not a problem. So in this equation I can write it. So w is equals to k is what, 16 into 1 by root x, because we need the answer in x also. Now finally we can write w is equals to 16 by root x, because 16 into 1 is 16. So this is how we have to do this question. Question number 26. The diagram shows a triangle OAB and parallelogram OAKL. So you should know that this is a triangle OAB, and the other side they are trying to show as a parallelogram, this one. Okay, let me show you the parallelogram. That is this one. Okay, so let me erase now. So these two are triangle and parallelogram, and position vector of the values are given, that is a and b. If this is a parallelogram, then the opposite side of this should be equal, right? So OA will be equals to KL, so this will be also equals to A, correct? And they are also giving AK and KB are in the ratio 1:2. AK is 1 and KB is in the ratio of 2, right? So we have to find out the position vector of L. Position vector of L means OL. Position vector of L means OL we have to find. And OL will be equals to what? OL is where actually? OL is this one. Okay. Let me draw with another pen. So this is OL. So OL we can go by this direction, OA plus AL, right? OL is equals to OA vector plus AL vector. Now what is OA vector? OA vector is A. AL vector is what? We can find that one, AL vector. See, this AL vector is equals to AK plus KL, right? So we can write AL as AK plus KL. This AL vector I wrote it as AK plus KL because I hope you understand this, what's going on there. So green pen. So AL vector is equals to AK, A to K and K to L, right? So AK is what? Because this ratio was 1:2. So AK will be 1 by 3, right? The 1 by 3 comes from the total part, right? 1 by 3 of AB, right? So we can write it as A plus AK is 1 by 3rd of AB plus KL. As I told you, the KL value is actually equals to A because it's a parallelogram. So KL is A. So AB is equals to what? Now AB is equals to what? If you understand this right, AB will be equals to minus of A because the a goes in this direction. AB will be equals to minus of a and plus of b, correct? So minus of a plus of b, that is AB. I changed the color of the pen, don't worry about this. Anyway, AB is minus of a plus of b. I hope you understand through the diagram. Just go through it again so that it will be much more clear to you. So we can write it as, let's expand the bracket. This is a plus a minus of, because minus a into 1 by 3 gives you minus a by 3, and 1 by 3 plus b, 1 by 3 into b is plus of b by 3 plus of a. So let's take an LCM of all. So LCM will take it as 3. So 3 times, we can divide 3 divided by 1 is 3 and multiply the answer with that. So 3a minus of a plus of 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times b is b, plus of 3 divided by 1 is 3, and 3 times 1 is 3a, right? If we solve this one, so 3a plus 3a is 6a, and 6a minus of a is 5a plus b by 3. So this will be a final answer. If you don't understand, question 27. The line y equals to x plus 1 intersect the graph y equals to x square minus 3x minus 11 at point A and B. Find the coordinate of A and B. Okay, so we know that y is equals to x plus 1 and y is equals to x square minus 3x minus 11. So if this is equals to y and this is also equals to y, so definitely this will also be equals to this one, because both are equals to y. So x plus 1 will be equals to x square minus of 3x minus of 11. So if we solve this, just placing all the like term together, x square minus of 3x minus of x minus of 11 minus of 1 will be equals to 0. So if I solve this, x square minus of 3x minus of x is minus 4x minus 11 minus of 1 is minus 12, that will be equals to 0. And if I split this middle term, this 4 can be splitted as, see, middle term split, we can do it by just multiplying the extreme term, that is minus 12, and factor of 12 is 6 times 2, right? We have many factor, but we have to take such a factor that even help in splitting the middle term. 6 times 2 is 12 and 6 minus 2 is 4, correct? So we can split this. Wait, let me erase all these things. Okay, we have to split this minus 4 in 6 and 2. Okay, so we have x square, let me change the color, I'm sorry. We have x square minus of 6x minus of 2x plus of 2x, sorry, because minus of 4x we want, so minus 6x plus of 2x, we can get minus of 4x minus of 12 equals to 0. So just splitting the middle term using the factor of the extreme term. So we got this one. So if I take out common, so we have x minus of 6 plus 2 if I take it as common, so x minus of 6 again equals to 0. Then we have to write this x plus 2, and then we have to write the bracket 1, x minus of 6 equals to 0. So we can say that x minus 2 equals to 0, x plus 2 equals to 0, and we can write it as x minus of 6 also equals to 0. So x equals to minus 2 and x equals to plus 6. We got the two values of x that we can fill here. X is equals to 6 and x equals to minus 2. And for finding the value of y, it is also known that y equals to x plus 1. So if I put the value of x as 6, so y is 7. If I put the value of x as minus 2, then y will be equals to minus of 1. So this is how we have to do this question, and thank you so much for watching this. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.